Hey everybody, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? What is going on? Welcome to the game gallery, and this is Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer. How you guys doing out there? Just letting a few people show up into the chat and all that jazz. I'm glad that you guys are here. Hoping that my sound is going good, like, resetting up a whole bunch of other things, trying to upgrade the cameras and all that jazz, just to make sure that everybody who's in here or who decides, hey, I'm going to watch that stuff from that crazy dude that's always talking about games. Like, yeah, all right, cool. We're here. We're here. We're doing the thing. And I am saying hello. I am Solar Gray. I'm the cinematic sorcerer. And we are here in the game gallery. Now, yesterday, we were on the dark side of the room. And that was a little sense of awesomeness. But today I want to talk to you guys about some stuff. How you doing, Daryl? All right, cool. What is going on? All right, I got the chat literally up being like, oh no, you're coming in good. You're coming in good. Cool. So now that we got that stuff going, yeah, it has been a thing. I'll tell you guys all about it. But first, we got to do a little business. Yeah, look at all that. Oh, yeah, look at my business. Yep, got the music going, so that means I'm about to be played off like the Oscars. But I want to thank you guys for showing up, especially you guys that are still working from home and locked down and all that stuff. Let's try and bring a little bit of cheer, a little bit of joy, and a little bit of a reminder of who we are and who we need to be. I drink out of Wonder Woman's head. Anyway, if you guys want to pop in, say hi, just talk up something in the chat, ask me a question, all that jazz. And ifin, you guys want to send in a question or a comment or something like that, something involving the channel, that is super easy. And I really mean that. It's a super easy thing. All you have to do is open your email and type in, open up a composed new email and take it on in to backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at backinthedeck at Gmail. So that's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. Join the group, Deckers on the Books. Matter of fact, we put some pictures up just to show what we have been doing under this time of quarantine and lockdown. You ain't going nowhere. Where you going? Nowhere. That's right. If you are on that wretched hive of scum and villainy, and let's face it, who isn't at this particular point in time. And also you can hit us up on Twitter, tweet, Twitter, at Back in the Deck. You can just come on, look for BACKINTHEDECK, the same on Instagram. And I wanna say hi. How you doing? I'm working a whole bunch of controls here and all that stuff, but you guys know how I do. And if you guys don't really like looking at my head, that's fine. You don't have to like looking at my head and all that stuff. You don't have to, because if you don't like just sitting up looking at a talking head, because all you got to do is head on over to soundcloud.com/BID_P, and you can listen to our back catalog of the podcast. We got years. Just look at all that. I'm just going so fast. And of course, you can also find us anywhere that you get your podcasts. But if you use SoundCloud and tell your friends to use SoundCloud, you guys can download the stuff and listen to it at your leisure, so you don't have to worry about the network going down, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you got a good internet connection when you finally feel like listening to it. Y'all know how we do. I know how you do. I know how I do. We all know how all that stuff goes. And if you really like what we do and how we're trying to keep the community alive, and you want to help us out here, help us grow the community, and help us talk to people about games. And we also take all of this stuff. We take like PDFs and old versions like D&D 3.5 and whatever people donate to us. Hit me up with an email if you want details. We take those to community centers and we teach kids about this hobby and how to play these games, and we give the games away, and we're trying to make sure that the next generation doesn't have nearly as hard of a time getting into this as I did. Okay, that is what we're all about. That is what we're doing. And if you guys want to help us out with that, well, you guys can send or just head on over to patreon.com/BID_P. And if you think that what we do has more value to your life, our community, and all that other stuff, then join for $1. Just $1. $1. Really helps us keep the lights on today. And if you can do more, do more. We've got lots and lots of incentives that we're still working on. I'm trying to figure out ways to make better merchandise. I don't just want to give you guys cheap t-shirts. I'm about to sneeze on camera. Okay. That's right. I would sneeze into my elbow, but I ain't black enough to give you guys a dab. I'm kidding. Okay. Just a little bit of light humor. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was talking about, keeping the lights on, getting more incentives and stuff. This right here, this is one of my favorite incentives, and you get this at the $50 tier, just like His Majesty Paul D. Mansfield. When you sign up for Patreon, it'll ask for a mailing address and all that stuff. I don't care if it's a P.O. box. I just need to know where to send you guys swag, like the Cinematic Sorcerer minis and the Cthulhu Dice Roller, or the Angel of the Dice, Angel of Bad Rolls. Along with other cool stuff. We got keychains and stickers and all that stuff for the kids. So we just need to know where to send that stuff. And like I said, if we are cooler than a packet of cupcakes a month, just cooler than one packet of cupcakes or a super king size Snickers bar, then cool. You let us know. Help us keep these lights on and all that stuff. So I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit. And of course, I'm going to change up the beat just a tiny bit, because I'm all about them beats. All about them beats. I want to give a special thanks to Taz Tim Jetter, who is he is the gentleman that, he has a thing like Incompetech. And as you guys on YouTube know, getting royalty-free music is a big PETA. Okay? PETA as in pain in the esophagus. Like I said, we try and keep things clean around here. So he just sets me up with some really cool beats. Just look for him on the Facebook. You will find, I want some mint. Yeah, mint flavor. Yes, minty goodness all over. Minty goodness all over my studio. Why? Because I make things stink. I smoke. It's one of those things. Anyhow, so I've been up for a long time today. I want to let you guys know I normally work until like 3 or 4 in the morning. That's the schedule. If you guys work from home, or you produce things like videos, or you sew, or anything that requires a whole bunch of concentration and not telling anyone what you're doing and forgetting what your kids look like and saying the same things like, okay, all I gotta do is finish this one last thing and then I can go to bed. Y'all know what it's like. Y'all really know. Y'all know what it's like. Y'all know what's up. And I'm cool because I've adjusted my schedule to, if I get my 8 hours in, like if I can actually get to sleep relatively on time, I can get up at 11 and I can be here doing the stuff that I need to do for you guys. Unfortunately, the world don't work like that. Okay, the world just don't work like that. Now, I was up most of the night reading the game that we're going to be talking about today. But I got a notice yesterday and I had to duck out of my Monday night D&D game because my landlady was like, the water bill is too high. There's a leak. We got to look around the apartment. And so essentially, mom was coming in to make sure that we'd cleaned our room. And it became an issue. And when I say an issue, I mean, I'm going to say it became an issue of Supergirl in the 90s because that really wasn't that great. And it really wasn't something that I would recommend. So it was kind of one of those issues. And I will tell you, ooh, something is happening here. Am I freezing up? I don't know. Might be that. Let me check the stream here real quick. Yep. Because my chat is like, burp, 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 burp. But no, it's looking like things are good. Yeah, my keyframe frequency is like, oh my god, your keyframe, and I'm like, you stop it. Just stop it. I don't know. But as I was saying, yeah, so it really came down to I had to get up super early and make sure the house was clean and sweep the floors and fix the vacuum and blah, 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 blah. For her to show up and yell at me like I was 8 years old. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask you to watch your tone because you don't want to see my ugly side. Please don't see my ugly side. Understand, I'm an adult. You're an adult. Let us speak like adults. And opposed to, well, you need to. And I'm like, I need to do a great many things. And one of them is not hurt you right now, lady. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that gangster. I don't roll like that. But needless to say, I was a little more than irritated. So yeah, I'm a little bit loopy right now. And I'm trying to set up a few things, make sure that I still have this air of pseudo-professionalism, if you will. But yeah, and I'm doing what I can right now to upgrade the equipment. I still don't have 4K cameras. A lot of people say I should. Oh, life is buffering. All right, thanks. Thank you, Vixen. Thank you very much. Yes, life is buffering. You know, and no one out buffers life. And so yeah, so what I'm trying to do is, you know, you guys can see around here I got a little bit of shadowing there going on, and hey, there we go. All right, that works a little bit better. Yes, now you can see my face. I'm the leprechaun. Hey, you guys signed up for a whole bunch of gaming stuff, and y'all know I'm a nerd. I'm also a dad, so I get nerd jokes and dad jokes. That is one of the things that, you know, you guys have come here to see. Anyway, so I'm a little loopy. But you might ask, well, what were you up so late doing? Okay, well, I was up reading the game that we're going to talk about this week. Now, I do a lot of things, and I mean a lot, like a lot of things. I do a whole bunch to, one, occupy my time, two, deal with my painful amount of extroversion. Okay, painful amount. If y'all got extrovert friends out there right now, reach out, because they are hurting. They're like, hey man, how's it going? My friend and boss hit me up a little earlier today, after the landlady was like, I'm checking to see if you live here, because that's one of the things that they do and she does and all that jazz. And by that I mean no talking, no running, no painting, no crafting, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, there we go. I feel better. Ooh, that was fun. Nope. I'm not saving any of that stuff. Yeah, so yeah, he gave me a call and he's like, hey, how you doing? Because, you know, I know how you roll. You're going nuts right now, aren't you? Yeah. Hang on, we're going to have... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's like, you are going nuts right now, aren't you? And I'm like, yes. Yes, I'm going more than slightly mad. So, as it stands, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I don't go absolutely nuts. So, yeah, this is one of the things that I'm working on, and I got a new miniatures game, and by got they were giving away the first edition. Now, for those of you guys that are not new to the show, okay, if you guys ain't new to the show, then y'all know how I love me some sci-fi. Love the skeefy. Love the skeefy, because there's a place for me and mine. Yeah, there's a place for me and mine in the future, you know. Because let's face it, we're gamers, we do our thing, and we have a hard time trying to figure out where we belong, you know. And the past ain't exactly great for my shade of tan, you know. At least not as far as I've learned from the... Where is... Aha, there it is. Yeah. As I've learned from the educational system in the continental United States, the past is not somewhere I want to go, and not really a thing. I gotta find my here we are. I got my towel here. Towel. Side effect of all the mint. Anyway, so you know, yeah, side effect of growing up here. I don't want to go to the past. Thank you. That's not exactly somewhere that I'm messing with right now. Me, the past, nah. But one of the things that I'm digging, especially right now, is okay. One of the things I'm digging right now is the future. You know, I like going to the future. And with that particular thing, Control V, I get to head to the future and check out the stuff that's there. That's some of my favorite fiction, you know, some of my absolute favorite fiction. And when I get to do that, I can check out what's there. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, right. Property management companies. They chat my bummy bum. So, yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm letting a few other people know that we're here. Most of the time, people look for me on Twitch, and y'all know how the Webernets goes and all that jazz. So, just letting people know, hey, I'm here right now. So before we get to all of that jazz, what I'm gonna do is just talk to you guys a little bit about certain games. Okay. Now, the game that I found this particular week is a tabletop miniatures game, and y'all know how I love me the tabletop miniatures games. All right, I love playing with little action figures. I get my little guys and I'm like, you know, I love doing that stuff. That is my jam. That is what I messes with. Okay. And you know, it's one of the things that I do. Okay, that's my jam. Those are the things that I do, and those are the things that I like playing with. So, where is my backup? Well, the backup is interesting. You see, as much as I love my little minis games and all my little toys and loving building all the stuff, and yeah, I'm actually starting to like building all the stuff that I'm building. It's a thing. I don't like competing. Okay, that is a big thing for me. I am not a fan of competing. I don't like anything that's zero sum. Okay, I really don't. I don't like zero sum games. I don't like the idea of someone wins, someone loses. I like everyone against the house. Okay, I love that. But then again, that's just me. What is that? Facing the future with optimism. Yeah, what a revolutionary idea. Yeah, I like everybody against the house. That's what I like doing. I love games that are like you and me against the world. Come on, let's take down the machine. You know, I'm all about like raging against the machine, and of course, burning the midnight oil, and all of these are musical jokes. So just look up any of that stuff, and you'll be like, oh, well, that's a thing. So I like games that are very, very, very cooperative. All right, but we're under quarantine. Isn't that fun? So how are you gonna play games when you're under quarantine? Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Now I've talked about Rangers of Shadow Deep. I've talked about a whole bunch of games that allow you to goldfish. Okay, and for those of you guys that don't know, goldfishing is essentially when you're playing both sides. You are playing the game and you can't lose because it's you against yourself. I just keep doing that with my switcher. Let me move this over just a little bit. I'm always a little reticent to move my switcher because I might disconnect it and then stuff just gets weird. So yeah, so as I do all of that jazz, cool. And it's like, if you guys are wondering, hey, why don't you do this standardly before? Why don't you do all this stuff before? I do. But y'all know the internet. Sometimes people need reminding. So anyway, oh, and Daryl, yeah, you're welcome. My guy sent you a thing yesterday, and that was awesome. So hey folks, how you guys doing? So today we're going to talk about tabletop minis games. Okay, because those things, there's a lot of aspects to them. A lot of aspects. When you play a tabletop minis game, the whole idea is it's a way to play with action figures that has very, very, very set rules. Okay? Very set rules. Like, you're playing with a bunch of action figures, you have your team, and yeah, it's a big thing. Now, we all know in the gaming circles that I run in, we know what the king of tabletop minis games are, and of course I'm talking about Warhammer 40k from Games Workshop. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This game has been out for years. Okay? Years and years and years and years. We're talking, this is like the big thing. You go on the internet and you're like, hey man, you like Space Marines? How about a Space Marine inside of Space Marines? And full disclosure, I don't play that game. The old joke around the campfire was, yeah, Warhammer 40k, you need 40k to play the game. And I didn't grow up with a whole bunch of that stuff. And if you guys watch the first episode on the playlist of Dark Side of the Room, you guys will find out what happened to me when I tried to find out about Warhammer 40k. Okay, let's just say wasn't pretty. I got into another game about 16, 17 years ago, from Privateer Press called War Machine, and I enjoyed this game. Matter of fact, let's pull up my faction. Oh, look at no, stop it. I don't, cookies. All right, look at all these cookies. And this was magic / steam powered robots. doing professional wrestling moves on each other, and it was a blast. Um, but there are always downsides. Downsides to playing tabletop miniatures games. Two, technically three. Let's call it 2.5. Downsides to playing tabletop minis games, which is the miniatures tend to add up in cost pretty high. Okay, that's a huge thing. Huge thing. And yeah, it really comes down to like this little guy right here. This model is about $30, okay? And that is on the low end for tabletop minis games. But you know, if you're gonna go big, and this has the same replay value potentially as any role-playing book. It's not as inexpensive as role-playing games in general. Tabletop minis games are kind of like the next step, but there's a lot of stuff that you get from it. Most miniatures are like putting together model cars. Model cars, train sets, building dioramas, and that in and of itself has its own what's the term I'm looking for? Rewards. There is what's called the hobby aspect of these games. And yeah, it's a really, what is the term? It's a thing that people do, and people enjoy the hobby aspects of this game. You can paint them, because with most games there's no color code and stuff like that. I, on the other hand, like to play, but our show tomorrow is building stuff for them. I did some stuff, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick sneak preview of the stuff that I've been putting together. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, this is from, yeah, look at that. You know what? I'm just gonna darken that tone. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, these are photos that I literally took this morning, because we've been building this stuff in Hobby Hall, and the figures aren't handmade, but everything else I made with these two hands. And that's something to be proud of. You know, I can be like, yeah, I got a little bit of pride in what I'm doing. And that's a cool thing. That is something that I can deal with. It's pretty cool. All of these things are part of the hobby. The downside is, after a while, you might stop playing the game that you want, and then the question comes up, well, what do you do with all this stuff? What happens with all these toys? What happens with all of these play sets? You know, I live in an apartment. I haven't lived in a house for decades. Okay, decades upon decades has it been since I had a backyard. So what do I do with this stuff? One of the things I do, not just for your guys' benefits as my viewers, but for my own benefit, because I need places to put stuff, is I look for miniature neutral games, and I look for things to do proxying or skinning. And that brings us to today's game, Starbreach, from Elijah Kellogg. Now, this is the first edition of the game, and the core rules, and you can actually find these things for free. I'll put a link in the description, because the company that puts it out is actually uploading the first edition for free just in preparation of their second edition. So that is something that is pretty awesome. And one of the big reasons that I go through all of the rigmarole that I go through in looking for this stuff is because I don't want to buy anything else. Or more to the point, I don't want to have to buy anything else. I don't want to be looking at the stuff that I do going, hey, I would really like to get into this. Oh, but I have to buy another thing. I want to be able to look at something and be like, dude, that is awesome. I want to buy that, especially since money is tight and, you got to have your value for money, more bang for your buck. Give me a holler in the chat if y'all with me. But yeah, so all of these things are different ways to pass time, of course. And when it comes to that, I'm big on passing time, especially under these circumstances. Now let's take a quick look at Starbreach. You can find this at starbreach.com. Here we are, free PDF, first edition download, official errata, March 2020. Yeah, and of course, this is yet again another tabletop game, set in sci-fi stuff, and I am truly a big fan. Again, any sci-fi universe, any sci-fi models, right there, boom, boom. There you go. That right there is the number one reason that we look at this stuff. Okay, this is a big thing that I look for, especially for you guys. So, any sci-fi models. If you got hero clicks, use hero clicks. If you've got games from Warpath or old Warhammer minis that are laying around, or you actually have 20 or 30 bucks to buy, let's see if I can find one around here. Yeah, if you've got 20 or 30 bucks, ooh, there we go. To get a little alien, boom, 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 you got something to do. Okay? And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is the stuff that kind of keeps me sane. The downside to this game is the what is the term I'm looking for? The dice mechanics. You need a few D6s, and when you make the 3D6s go, they mean something different all the way across the board. In truth, this is not a bad game, especially for the price. You cannot beat the price. So if you've got some sci-fi miniatures laying around and you've got things like salt and pepper shakers, or one of my favorite pieces of terrain stuff, if we look down here, oh, right there, okay, that is stuff out of a fish tank. Okay, I love making dioramas out of fish tank stuff because it's available. And there's also a whole bunch of different types of dioramas that you can have out of fish tank stuff. And the reason I talk about that is because it's available. Okay, aquarium stuff tends to be available everywhere. You go to a fish store, you can get a bunch of different stuff. And of course, there are things like scatter terrain that people talk about. And all scatter terrain is, guys, is stuff that you don't group together. Okay, you throw that stuff down there, you get some plants, oh yeah, look at that. Oh man, that is good. Just big little hobbit house, little bitty things like that. And you throw it on a board and you play your game. That is the big thing. If you guys head over to eBay, yeah, I said eBay because the other company is on strike right now. So let's take a look at a sci-fi miniatures lot. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Give me a big bundle. Big old batch. Just give me a whole bunch, just big old bag. Yeah, let's take a look down here. So yeah, if you guys just go on eBay, boom, Doom board game stuff. Look at that. Little things, zombies and stuff from Doom, from the Doom board games. Zombies are practically no-brainers. No pun intended. I did not realize what I said on that one. Oh my god. I am so sorry. That was literally a no pun intended. Um, but yeah, zombie figures, you can pull stuff out of board games and stuff like that. Um, and it's another thing to do, another way to play. Now, one of the big things on on playing tabletop miniatures is most of them are zero sum, and that is the thing with Star Breach. This is a one-on-one winner take all thing. You roll your dice, you do all your stuff, and the winning conditions on this game is literally at the end of 6 rounds, who killed the most miniatures. That's it. It allows you to put together gears and stuff, and it's very reminiscent of Rangers of Shadow Deep. Okay, very reminiscent, but yeah, it's not exactly the same thing, but it is a sci-fi setting, and I dig that a lot. And I mean that, I really do. I dig sci-fi stuff. And there's not a whole lot of it out there. Now, one of the things, and when I say not a whole lot of it out there, it's not as readily available as, say, I don't know, yeah, not nearly as readily available as fantasy stuff. Okay. But yeah, so for you guys out there that might be into it, let's see here. There we go. This right here is one of the sci-fi things that I built. Oh no, that's my cat. This is one of the sci-fi things that I built. And again, check out our Thursday show Hobby Hall to take a look at that. I threw it on a battle mat, and yeah, and I got my little space rangers, and I got space zombies and stuff like that. And just doing this stuff, it's a really therapeutic way to pass time. And I know a lot of people are like, I can't paint little things that small, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Oh my God. It is way easy. And when I say way easy, I mean, you are not going to get stuff that looks like it was done super professionally. Like it's not going to be ready to go for a store. Not on your first time out. But as I say all the time, you get as much out of things as you're willing to put into it. And most of the time, I'm not willing to put a whole lot into it. We covered Crisis Protocol a little bit last week, or a little bit on the show a few weeks ago. And if you were to look at my superhero action figures, oh my God. But there's table ready, there's not painted, and then there is showpieces, and I don't really like showpieces myself. So yeah, you can put these things together. I talked about Rangers of Shadow Deep, which is big. It's fun. It is pretty awesome. And the reason I talk about that game is because it's miniature neutral, and it's a game that you can play alone. And I like being able to play games by myself. In Rangers of Shadow Deep, you can go, you can seriously just go by yourself, any particular figures. Joseph A. McCullough, great guy, wrote the book, and it is awesome looking. The book is awesome looking. You can play it alone by yourself. Oh no, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I needed help focusing. And these are things that you can do when you're by yourself. Now, this game here, as I said, Star Breach is a great attempt. There are special dice that you can buy with them, because there are various different meanings. Each die is like one particular phase, and then the next phase you use another die, and then next phase you use another die. And so there's a lot of dice rolling in this game. If you're like me, that is about a fifth of the fun. A fifth of the fun. I like rolling dice. It's a fun thing, but I need to roll dice with a purpose, especially since I have this work of art right here. So I would say check it out. Head to starbreach.com and you'll be able to download the rules. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, again, if I'm not really into games like this, why should I take a look? And I will answer. If you're not into it, it's not a big thing. You don't have to be. You're not terrible for not liking to paint miniatures or things like that. But if you are, if you're painting miniatures, I find that miniatures games are really good with kids. Okay, if you've got some decently painted miniatures, and you put them on the little bases, kids love playing with toys. So if you got kids and if you're doing the homeschooling thing right now, all you got to do is, pull out the thing, start goldfishing. The kid will be like, hey, what's that? And then you trick them into doing their homework and be like, yeah, you can play with me after you're done with your science work. Yeah, I'm that guy. I really am. And you can hate me all you want, but it works. And if you've got miniatures laying around and you don't want to play the game that they're attached to, and that's a big thing for me. I've been in 2 miniatures games over the past, God, I'd say since about 2003. Yeah, since about somewhere between 2003. Yeah, I think it was 2003. I was into HeroClix and I was into War Machine. And HeroClix is a collectible miniatures games. So I got boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of these little of these clicks that you can't play competitively anymore, not even that I wanted to. But there's something called power creep that we've talked about. Essentially, the new stuff is more powerful than the old, and the new stuff comes out like every 3 or 4 months. So whatever you have now will just wreck anything you had 5 years ago. And so I've got all this stuff laying around. Do I throw it away because nobody wants it? A lot of people are like, well, if it's collectible, you should try and hit the aftermarket. And the truth of the matter, on the whole aftermarket thing, yeah, that's not really an option, because as much as people like to talk about aftermarket, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Unless you have Amazing Fantasy number 15 and Hulk number 171, you're probably going to get a quarter an issue for whatever you got. And that's just the way it works all the way across the board. Ask anybody that collects baseball cards. Not to say there isn't a collector's market. Not to say that there isn't an aftermarket. But out of, it's like a 2% thing. Like, you'll have a whole box full of stuff, but people will only pay decently for one thing out of that whole box. So what do you do with the rest of it? And the answer is miniature neutral games. So I did a little gold fishing with this, and it's got a bit of a learning curve. So I haven't played enough to really go into detail or give a tutorial, okay? But what I will say is this. It ain't terrible. Matter of fact, as far as this one goes, this one gets a back in the deck 3 of a kind for the rating on that one. And if you're playing poker and you got 3 of a kind, you stay in. It ain't terrible. If you've got the minis laying around and you're looking for something new to do with them, fantastic. But this, and the rules are free. The rules are free. And so again, if you've already got it laying around and you got somebody to play with, go for it. But this isn't really one that I would rush out and get today. You know what I mean? I was like that with Rangers of Shadow Deep. I wasn't with that with Frostgrave. I was definitely with that with War Machine. And I was with that with the DC Miniatures game. So yeah, but this one, you can take or leave it. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna say on that one. If you guys wonder why I speak so it's to make sure that I don't spend too much time in editing, because this YouTube channel isn't monetized. Okay. And I don't really like making 20-minute videos here, 20-minute videos there. So I like to seriously just sit up and talk with you guys instead of giving you guys the illusion of authenticity. I just want to talk to you. But right now, speaking of talking to you, I want to see what is up over in NP City. So talk to me, chat. How you doing over there? Let's see. The chat's yeah. Oh, knee slapper. Yeah, I know. Zombie no brainer. It was a thing. That was seriously accidental. But yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Daryl over in the chat, he's just like, yeah, not really one for miniature board games. And that's cool. That's cool. Ain't none wrong with that. If you're into tabletop games, cool. I know some tabletop games like D&D help with immersion with miniatures, but it is by no means necessary. None. In truth, I'll do miniatures for exploration, like in a dungeon delve, but I don't really like miniatures for combat. I really don't. And it's a personal thing. So when I run games, I really don't like using miniatures for combat because people look at it like they look at it closer to a video game, and that is a newer gamer thing. And I'm trying to wrap my head around it. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to get my head around that, because I really don't believe that there's a wrong way to play anything unless the way that you're playing makes things not fun for anyone else. That's my rule, you know. But you know what? But I'm really figuring, since we're on lockdown, there is an old gamers thing where it's like, no, will not buy any new minis until I paint the ones I have. No new. Ooh, what's that? I'm seriously. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes of miniatures that are still on the card that I have to get around to painting. And oh man, I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a thing. Especially with the deep cuts and the new WizKids stuff that they're releasing for D&D. 2 minis that are really good looking for $5. Oh, it literally is shut up and take my money. When I was putting that dungeon together earlier today, I was thinking, maybe I should go get some more door. No, I'm not buying anything until I paint everything I'm using, or at least come up with a use for it for any of the games that I play. Yeah, it's real. It's real. So yeah, that's where we're sitting up about that. Now, what are some of the good things about this? Well, the hobby aspects of gaming, okay? And this is a big thing. Painting little things can be kind of therapeutic, okay? But not everything's for everybody, okay? Literally, I know people that just they took to painting like one of them ducks. I mean, it really is a big thing. They go in there and their stuff just looks amazing. Okay. And then I look at mine and I make the mistake that every artist makes, which is comparing my work to someone else. And I'm like, he went to school for that. I didn't go to school for that. Moving on. I mean, that's where I end up sitting with that. And I find that I don't really like painting lots of minis. I don't like painting miniatures en masse. This is one of the reasons that I never got into things like Warhammer 40K. That the fact that, I don't have credit enough to take out a mortgage. But there's a lot of games out there where you end up with like 200 figures on the board. And dude, I yeah, hang on. 40K apocalypse. Um yeah. There are people out there that do a whole bunch of just scary looking stuff. I mean, let's see. I'm looking for an actual game in play. Ah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, there are people out there that go out there and I'll tell you this, they do the thing. And when I say they do the thing, oh, that's terrible. That's a terrible picture. Terrible. Just terrible. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right. Yeah, they go out there, they put that stuff together, and they're literally out there going, all right, this is what they're gonna do. This is what their armies look like, you know. And I'm just like, look at that. Oh my God. All of these? No. Actually, I've had armies that look like that. But yeah, it really comes down to like, if that's your bag, that's your bag. I like painting bigatures. Okay? Bigatures, not miniatures. Okay? I hate these. I really do. I hate these. I can't stand these. However, I can do this all day. Hooray! Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I'm a fan of doing stuff about that size. So the Cthulhu minis, or the Cthulhu dice rollers, the when I actually do paint miniatures, I do things like dragons. Matter of fact, I think I have some examples of some dragons I've painted in the past. But yeah, I mean, quite literally, I'm just like, I like painting the big things primarily. And, again, ain't gonna lie, I like the immediate gratification. What I don't like, and some of you guys can back me on this, what I don't like is sitting down and painting and painting and painting and painting and painting and painting all day and feeling like I haven't gotten anything accomplished, and when it comes down to painting a lot of miniatures, it's just sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes it feels like work. I played the Protectorate of Menoth, and I ended up painting a lot of infantry. I got into the game for giant robots, but then when I first started getting my big robots, I'm like, yeah, now this is what I'm talking about versus, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's a thing. It's a thing. Oh, look at this. Oh, hang on. Boom. Yeah, go ahead. If you guys want to tell each other to hit the like button, I ain't gonna stop you. So yeah, it really is big thing. Now, one of our people over here in the chat, let's take a look. Let's take a look at our folks in the chat here. Literally the opposite of me. Mapping minis for combat. Yeah, having a clear idea what ranges you're at and all that stuff. And yeah, that's one of the big things. Now, some folks don't know D&D started as a miniatures game. A good old game, Chainmail. And the RPG that grew around it was essentially a game to give context to all of the fighting that you was gonna be doing. That's just the thing. But yeah, so today that is what I wanted to talk with you guys about. But this is about our time. So double checking because my phone has been buzzing, which means, has it been buzzing with emails? No. No. I almost feel like I'm being talked to by Goblin Slayer. No. Oh, but thanks for following us over on Twitter, Mr. Couch. You were awesome. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, join Deckers on the Book. Tell us about your mage game. Anyway, but what I am gonna say is that is where we're at. And I want to thank you guys for showing up because this is our time. Please hit the like, hit the share, let people know. Also, let them know that our normal channel is Twitch. So head on over to twitch.com/b or twitch.tv/bid_p, and you'll be able to see like a little bit more of the shows that we do. Talk with us over there. That's where we're going to be tomorrow on the Hobby Hall, because I don't want to take up 2 to 3 hours of YouTube time and all that stuff. It's weird. Call me old-fashioned, all that other stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to thank folks for showing up. Big thanks to Shannon Boom Boom Lay, our queen of Patreon, His Majesty Paul David Mansfield, and of course Jennifer Crow, our ace in the hole. So if you guys are just showing up, sorry guys, I put out the notice like an hour ago. But what I will say is join us tomorrow. That's our long show. That is the show that we do on Thursdays. Coming up with a new thing. And yeah. So what I am gonna say is thank you guys. Oh wait. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up. And if you want to email or send us a letter or ask us a question or really talk to us one-on-one about some of the benefits of following us on social media or what we're up to or why we really do this, all you got to do is open up your email, push compose new email, and then type in back in the deck at gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. And, send us any questions or, if you guys got any games that you want us to take a look at or to try or to teach you guys, you're going to have to do that next step. But we'll always be willing to talk with people and listen. Maybe, hey, if you want to do a suggestion about what game I should be reviewing, then send an email. You never know. Also, thank you for showing up here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, make sure it says all, give us a thumbs up. Please. Please make sure the Massa YT don't hit me. Please, because, yeah, that's what I feel like when I'm over here. But mainly share this stuff because I want to grow the community. That's the biggest thing I want to do, especially since the YouTube over here ain't monetized. And if you're part of that wretched hive of scum and villainy, just head on over to Deckers on the Book. Check out what we're doing. Get involved with the other Deckers. And you don't have to pay $1 to be a Decker because, again, you know if you're a Decker. Follow us on Twitter and all the other social media places and all that stuff. And again, thank you guys for showing up. Yeah, I gotta pull up the other things. So yeah, head on over to soundcloud.com/bid_p. Do that whole thing. Download our stuff, listen to our other stuff, share it. Of course, if you don't like SoundCloud, that's cool. You can find us on we're on Spotify and Stitcher and Apple iTunes and all that other stuff. But SoundCloud has been good to us for a very long time. And of course, if you think that what we do is valuable and worthwhile and want to help out in a way that you can, then if you really think that we are cooler than a packet of cupcakes a month, then head on over to patreon.com/bid_p. I make it very clear per month because a lot of Patreon people do stuff per video, and that's not the model that I'm using. I'm like, you know what? With all the freaking streaming services and all that stuff out there, if you can slide me $1 a month, that's cool. If I'm as entertaining as Netflix or as informative as Netflix, slip us a $5. That's fine. And we got other stuff, stickers. I'm working on other types of things that we can do on that. And So if you've got any ideas for merch, speak up in the Patreon. Let me know the type of stuff that you guys might want. And again, just hit us up at any of these places that you see on screen. But remember, if anybody tells you that you can't have the hobbies you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, your disabilities, or your budget, you just tell them to take any of those cards and put them back in the deck. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you guys for joining me here in the Game Gallery.